We are celebrating with Nocturnal Affair, and we are so pleased to be joined by the front man, the singer, the songwriter, Brendan. Brendan Shane, please tell us about. I see you guys after these shows with Jagger Henry, starting in LA, and then he comes out to support you at the Rock Stars of Tomorrow. You start in April across America, Springfield, Missouri, Wichita, Colorado Springs, Albuquerque, Phoenix. Um, how important is it to you to, get out on the road, bring this music to the people, and show everybody this isn't just a recording project in a bedroom somewhere. This is a real band, and we'd love for you to, come with us on this journey.
I think it's super important because I don't just do it for that. I write these songs because I've felt a certain way, and songwriting is, I'm sure most musicians say, is like therapy to me. It's also kind of just like a beacon, right? Almost like, how we send things out into space and like, hey, we hope there's something out there that can maybe relate to us and other intelligent life forms, etc. So when I put this music out, I release it, and I'm hoping to find other people out there that have gone through maybe the same troubles or maybe troubles of their own that they can at least relate through this music to, and help them know that they're not alone in life, especially when they feel that way. And so going out on tour is really important to me because, hey, I get to perform and kind of like be the commercial for the music, right? Um, but then I get to like get off stage and I get to shake hands and I get to meet people and I get to like know their name and hear their story. And you start to make a lot of friends in places that you've never been who are extremely similar to you. And you start to realize how small this world is and how not alone you are. And it's extremely invigorating. And it almost gave life more meaning to me when I started doing that. Originally I started doing the touring thing, the music thing, because everybody wants to be a rock star. Everybody wants to be on stage. They want to be playing their music. They want to fucking have the audience going wild. They want to see the money. They want to see the, everything, whatever, right? There's that like the kid kind of dreams. And then like you start to grow up and you go through life and you go through hard times and you start to meet people that maybe you can't trust, and you start to kind of feel a little bit alone in your little place in the world. So yeah, going on tour, meeting people that maybe have shared the same struggles or struggles of their own, but they feel connected to us through our music. It's very eye opening, and it makes everything really worth it.
And with so many bands on tour, or maybe an audience that has seen so many different bands, what kind of special spin do you put on it, or what do you look to do or achieve, besides just connecting to the audience that hopefully they walk away with, a lot of word of mouth to bring other people next time you come?
Well, something that I don't know if we're going to continue doing this because we try to change it up. We try to keep things new so you're not seeing the same show again and again. But sometimes we play more covers than most bands would. Um, and a lot of people are like, but you're new, people are seeing you for the first time, shouldn't you be playing originals? And I'm like, why? Like what? Like I want to connect with these people immediately. Um, I would love it if by the end of our set, maybe three out of the seven songs, three out of the nine songs we've played, these people who are seeing us for the first time are singing with me. We are doing this together. We're in it together. They're getting their money's worth for a show where they can interact, have a good time, and fucking smile for once and forget politics, forget religion, forget their fucking job, forget all the other bullshit online. So yeah, I'd say that that's probably something we do a little differently than most based upon how many other people in the industry have gone, hey, you nine songs and you've got three or four covers. Are you sure? And I'm like, look, man, if they want to hear my original music after they have a good time with us, it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, it's whatever. But we're not headlining. Maybe once we headline, we can play more originals. But how many times have you seen a new band, even a band that you really end up liking later, but a band you've never heard before, and you're like, yeah, these guys are pretty good. I'm still gonna go get a drink. Like I'm still, you know what? I'm hungry. Fozzy isn't gonna play yet. I'm gonna go get a slice of pizza. So it's like, how am I gonna grab your attention and have you interact with me? So you are now part of the show with me. I'm gonna play some fucking covers.
Well, look at Orchie. You know, they boomed out with Blue Monday and caught
Yep.
everybody's attention. Some people didn't even know who New Order was. You know, they're like, I mean, I love your song, Blue Monday. You know,
I
what are
remember being a
some?
kid and hearing that, like as
Yeah,
a child, and I was like, oh, singing the song. And I remember my mom going, Brendan, how do you know about that? And I'm like, oh, it's by Orgy. And she's like, nope, it's by New Order. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Orgy sings it. And I had no idea. I had no idea as a kid.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. I mean, it's just if a song moves you, it almost doesn't matter who wrote it. You know,
Yeah. But
they
on top
just
of that,
they put a
when
new spin on it, as I'm sure you do with yours.
and when something like that happens, a lot of people, there's a lot of negative connotations to bands kind of getting out there with covers. But for me, I'm grateful for it because if I never heard that by Orgy, I probably never would have discovered New Order, and I probably never would have from New Order. I discovered Sisters of Mercy, Peter Murphy, like all of these like amazing dark alternative synthwave goth bands that like influenced everything I do today. So yeah.
Can you tell us a couple, two or three of the covers that you really love playing that kind of you
Oof.
relate to that we might hear?
We do a rendition of Hash Pipe by Weezer.
Oh, great.
I just loved that song since I
Oh,
was a
it's an
kid.
incredible song.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like you know, as hard as we like to rock and as cool as people would like to think they are, everybody's got a little bit of a nerd in them, right? And I think that's what draws people to Weezer. That's what drew me to Weezer because I was like, growing up as a kid, I was a little nerdy. I've still got my comic book fucking mug and
Okay.
played video games and stuff. So I don't know. I had to wear glasses as a kid, so seeing dudes up there rocking the fuck out, but they've got their glasses on and they're kind of nerdy and they're kind of whatever. It was really cool to kind of relate to. So I like to kind of sprinkle that in the middle of our show.
Oh yeah, Rivers is an incredible songwriter. You know, I've seen him many
Insane,
times.
insane, dude.
No doubt. I don't know if you heard, but you know, when they covered Africa by Toto, Steve Lukather scratching his head like, man, I'd love to reach out to these guys, and Rivers didn't really reach back to him. He said, let's do a cover of one of their songs. And Lukather and Toto guys actually did Hash Pipe. I don't know if
It
you
was
ever heard that.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah.
I loved it. But yeah, tell us another one. Which other
Um,
cover might we hear?
well, we actually released this song as a single a couple years back. We do a rendition of Depeche Mode's "It's No Good."
Oh,
I'm a huge
wow.
Depeche Mode fan.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, I don't
I
want to give the
remember
whole show
seeing, I
away.
saw Depeche Mode early on, probably their second tour at Red Rocks, you know, in Colorado. I don't know if you've ever seen Red Rocks, man. What an incredible
I
venue.
definitely do want to play there. Yes.
Oh, shit. It was the first show I ever went to, being a, you know, guitar geek. There wasn't a guitar in sight. It was like four guys on keyboards and a vocalist. And I was just like, what? This is insane. They were so rhythmic and heavy, but not a guitar on stage. It was the first of many, but it was great. Yeah, Red Rocks. I'll almost go see anybody there, just to be in that spiritual place. There's these natural rocks that were formed thousands of years ago by nature, and it makes the most, you know, incredible natural amphitheater, you know, in the world.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
but I know you be close to it. You're in Colorado Springs, Wichita,
Yep.
Albuquerque, Phoenix, of course, Vegas. Coming back to the whiskey, and yes, you will be down there at Anaheim, a part of the House of Blues, Mesa Theater, and all that. If you had a if you had a wish list, man, we could hit you with the golden wand. What band ultimately would you love to tour with? Who's the wish, the bucket list?
9 Inch Nails.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
Trent is he is one of a kind, that's for sure.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Rammstein as
Oh,
well. Damn it. It can't just be one, right? 9 Inch
yeah,
Nails because Trent has such an influence on my music and
yeah.
that. But Have you seen Rammstein's show?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
have you
Well,
seen
well,
that
well,
stage?
maybe go play with them in Europe where it's even bigger. You know what I mean? Of course, they bring it here in America, but from where they're from in Germany and France and Denmark and Europe, it's their backyard. They've been doing these shows for decades.
Yeah,
So that would be the place, man.
yeah.
There's probably some fire codes and fire marshals here in America that try and dampen a few of their a few of
I,
their effects.
I would like to drink some mezcal with Till at some point too. That would be nice. I heard some stories from the Hell Yeah camp when they played with Rammstein that like Till Lindemann has a whole road case filled with bottles of mezcal, which
Oh,
is so awesome.
yeah. Well, a definite famous drinker, the late great Vinny Abbott, and of course his late great brother Dimebag, Daryl Dimebag Abbott, were very famous drinkers on tour. And you got to find a balance. I know, Vinny would joke before the tour. He says, "You better pack an extra liver for the tour, guys." You'd have a bar in the back of the bus. But when did you realize early on that everything in moderation? It's great to enjoy this and that, but if you wake up with a hangover and you put on a half-ass show, and there's somebody important in the audience that could have either flipped you to the next level or taking you down a notch, it's just not worth it. I always say today the real party's on stage, not after.
Yeah, I'd say the drunkest I've ever been uh was with Vinny, right?
Okay.
After he came out to see us in with My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, we met and I don't know if you've heard some of our older music, but we were
Uh-huh.
very much more in the light of Typo Negative, and
Okay.
Pantera toured with Typo Negative, you know, a while back. So he would tell us he pulled me aside, we met, and that kind of started a long run of us running into each other and I would say being drinking buddies, but I don't know if that would qualify on my end because of how fucking drunk I would get drinking with him while it looked like it didn't affect him at all.
Oh yeah.
And he would tell me
Well,
stories of typo
that's kind of
negative
like
and
that's kind of like Van Halen.
yeah,
Alex would be drinking for 18 hours before the US Festival, and David Lee Roth was just shipping a little champagne for a couple hours, and
yeah.
Dave came out on stage like, "Man, I don't remember the lyrics," and
Like don't
Al,
get me
Al's
wrong.
like, Al's like he's sober after drinking for 18 hours. It's just all
Yeah.
depends on your constitution and I guess your limit.
I would be throwing back shots and he'd be throwing back vodka water with like a whole lemon. And he's fine. He's and then I'd wake up at my house. I'd like, I don't know how I got here. Somebody ordered me a car. I'm home. I'm safe. I've got all my clothes. We're good. But that was, I mean, that was over half a decade ago. Now, I do sober tours.
Yeah.
I don't drink. I don't even really smoke weed. I do everything I can to conserve my voice because as important as it to me to celebrate and have a good time and network, um, all of those people I'm networking with and all of those people I'm celebrating with, they did not pay money for a ticket to the show the next night to actually see us. And I think it's extremely irresponsible of me to put myself in a position to where I can't give them 110% every night on that stage. So I don't drink on tour because people that buy the ticket to come see us are way more important to me than any drink. Plus, I don't need it. Like I drink when I'm home. Sure. Like I'll go to a concert. I'll have a few beers. You know what I mean? Or I have dinner with some friends and family. I'll have some drinks. But I don't drink like I used to. It's not worth it. Plus, I'm a bigger fan of going to the gym, and
Yeah.
alcohol does terrible things to your gains. So
Oh yeah. No, I'm at the gym at like 4 or 5 a.m., man. It's a beautiful time, man, to start the day, get the body moving, the blood pumping, get the oxygen flowing through.
this isn't even whiskey. This looks like whiskey. It's just because I don't know how you feel about labels. This is tea, bro. This is
Okay.
I'm
Apple
not even
juice or
shooting back
something.
whiskey. You know what I mean? Like I'm not even I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to hitting the gym
No,
after this
it's
interview.
it's I learned a long time ago, that like I say, you can look like you're partying your ass off on stage, but you don't want to slip. You don't want to be so impaired that you think, oh, that was a great show. And then somebody checked you later, like, dude, what happened? You know,
I
it
learned that
stopped.
lesson. Our first, when we got our first tour with Fozzy, um, I was probably intoxicated all the time because it was like it was the first time we went on tour and we didn't have to drive a van ourselves. We had a driver, we had a bus, so we had bunks, we had food, we had a fridge. I could get off stage, we could work the merch a little bit, and then I could drink and pass out in my bunk. And I learned the lesson real fast that that's the worst thing you could possibly do if you're trying to build a business. And that's what a band is. It's a fucking business. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're it's a business transaction when you're on stage and performing to these people. They want to be entertained. They're looking for a reason to buy your record or to buy a shirt or to do whatever. And I don't know about you, but like if I walked into a restaurant and all the waiters were fucking drunk, I'd go to a different restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You're at work.
Well, speaking of Fozzy, look at Chris Jericho. He's like body slamming people and everything. I mean, he's in top shape, you know, and
Yeah.
I guarantee that dude's not out partying all night. That's for damn sure.
It's not the 80s anymore. It's not the
No,
80s anymore. That's, you
it's
know,
it's 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 very athletic. You know, a show is very athletic, and like I said, to wake up with a hangover and give a half-ass show, that you don't deserve to come back to that city. You just gave that city a slap in their face for their hard-earned money. You know,
yes. Yep.
and that's the way we look at it. But
But don't
incredible.
get me wrong, I'll fake it. I'll fake it at
Oh
shows
yeah,
so people don't buy me drinks. I'll walk around with like a little cup with water. I'll put a little lime in it. And so people are like, hey, let me buy you a shot. Because that's what they want to do. People just they're looking for a reason to connect with you after
right.
seeing your show if they liked you. So they open with, how about I buy you a shot? And so I'm like, just buy like a shirt instead, or just like let's talk. Like how are
Right.
you? What's your name? You don't got to buy me alcohol. So it's
Yeah.
I almost hate that this industry is surrounded by the idea of you have to drink in order to have fun, right? It just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's like Snoop Dogg. You know, he can afford anything in the world, but all his fans want to give him weed after the show, like he doesn't have pounds of it. You know, wherever he is. You know,
Man, he
and
does indeed.
he doesn't know what's laced in your weed. So
Oof. Yeah, man.
good good luck. But yeah, no, it's incredible talking to you. Our special guest has been the one and only Brendan Shane. He is the front man for the
Hey,
Nocturnal
Robin.
Affair. Go see them at the Whiskey with Jagger Henry. Come back to Vegas. Do a little road trip, man. Night after night, go back, see them in reverse order, headlining in Vegas, Rockstars tomorrow, and go out and check out their website, nocturnalaffair.com. Brendan, it's been a pleasure, man. Look forward to staying in touch with you and following your course and seeing this audience grow, man. Let's do it.
Thank you for having me. It's good talking to you.